Hello, my fellow adventurers! This is Mloentje, and welcome back to New World. So we went over all the caches that we got, all the gypsum caches that we were saving up to see if we could get some better loot from them. We went over all the caches that I basically got from all the keys that I collected. Kind of disappointing that the caches for Dynasty and for the Depths were basically low tier gears and not like the high-end gears, like 600 gears or at least 590 gears. But we got a bunch of good weapons. Like in total, think I got 74 named weapons that I did not have yet. So really happy that I basically now have a vault, well, a storage box almost filled with only legendary weapons. We did the complete medley fair and all the quests in there with all the music artifacts, all the music elements in there. It was really fun quest line, but there are still a bunch of like small changes that came to the game, and I kind of want to go over them as well, because even if they're small changes, there's still like implementations that will make this game better, or maybe even like worse. We'll have to see. In the episodes where I actually got all the gears from my boxes, we could already see one of the changes in the game. And that is when you actually, and I'm gonna quickly do it with this one. So when you salvage an item, there is a chance that you will get a perfect salvage. Now, I only had these two to salvage, and I basically didn't get a perfect salvage, but it's mostly with, you have a higher chance on named items, and items that come from the dungeons. Those are the highest likely to give the perfect salvages. Now, perfect salvages actually give you a certain amount of scraps, so valuable weapon scraps, as we can see here. We got valuable armor scraps, we got infused armor scraps, we got infused engineering scraps, jewel crafting scraps, and weapon scraps. Now, what do these do? Well, I kind of wanted to check that out together with you guys. This item can be salvaged for a large amount of repair parts. It can also be brought to a forge to extract materials, fabricated items, or used to gain weaponsmith experience. So if we would go now to the workshop, we can see here all the way at the top, salvage scraps. So we can extract leather from this one, infused engineering scraps. This container contains 3 to 4 infused leather. Extract metal orichalcum, so 3 to 4 orichalcum, and we got 2 chests, so that's gonna basically be a 4 orichalcum that we can get from it. But it does require us to pay Azoth, I think. And then extract wood. And then we have research, master engineering research. So study the salvage part to learn a large amount of engineering trading skills. Oh, 15,120. So that's actually pretty good. Now, something I read online is that if you actually salvage them not through the workbench, but just salvage them this way, you can get... So it's only scraps that you can get? I thought from the armor one or from the weapon one, I thought you could get items as well. Engineering, jewel crafting, large amount of repair parts. So if we only have one, right? Yeah, into 165. I read somewhere online that if you got weapon scraps, you can actually get items from them. Now I'm not really sure. So let's go to the crafting bench and... So we got extracts here as well. Orichalcum, star metal, layered metal, infused metal, star metal, orichalcum, whitewood, and ironwood. But we don't see anything for weapon experience. Oh, here we go. So you do need to learn it. So the infused weapon scraps can be used to get experience, but it's only at 150. Okay, so you do need to have a higher tier forge, like weaponsmithing, crafting, before you can get expertise from them. Okay, we learned something new. So yeah, definitely really interesting. I'm probably gonna keep them that way. I can actually get the experience from them. Now, if I look at the sides, so this is the actual life staff that I want to go for. Refreshing Divine Embrace on the weapon. And then refreshing move with Blessed is basically, it's gonna be like, for me, Bis, because I'm using Divine Embrace right now. But if we look at the bottom here, It is contained in a cache of mutated ornaments. We weren't lucky enough to actually get it. But it's also from, as you can see right now, like the infused arcana scraps. This item can be salvaged and it can actually salvage drop. And it drops from the tying. So now I'm not really sure, like, is the New World database correct that you can actually get this item from one of the scraps? It would be kind of strange, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's basically where I got my information, that you could get, like, items from these scraps. So I do want to actually, like, hang on to them and see later on if I can actually get some work done from them. So another thing that came actually with these perfect salvages was this resource, Tempest Materia. We've got Genesis Materia, Starstone Materia, Emerald Materia, Lazarus. So basically for every dungeon you got a Materia type. But what can we actually do with these Materias? Now if we scroll down, we got unique expedition rewards. And you see here, Blessed Forefathers. So this is an item that can actually drop from the depths. Like we have all kinds of necklaces and all kinds of armors in here. The Sagacious Shoes, they can drop from Tempest. And now if you are looking for like a specific item that is just not dropping from Tempest, and you still want to go for that, and you can get a lot of these materia, you can basically just craft the armor piece, and it's always gonna be between 590 and 600. Even if the armor bonus is not up, it's still gonna be between 590 and 600. So if I would want to go for the Eternal Visage, because it's basically not dropping, I just need 1,000 depths materia. But yeah, that's from the regular, so we don't kind of want to go for it. So you do want to check out like Honest Thieves, 3,500. If I want to go for this one, I can basically just craft it. You don't need any other resources than these materia, which makes, well, farming your gear a whole lot more interesting. Now that the dungeons no longer have keys and you can basically go into the, well, for this, the Tempest like 20 times a day, I think it is. Like 20 times a day, and then 15 mutated per week. You can basically like try to get a lot of the items in there. Try to get a lot of the perfect salvages, or have a chance to get perfect salvages. And eventually you're gonna get enough materials to actually like get these items when just crafting them. And that is really, really good. For the next one, we kind of need to go into OPR, because I went into an OPR earlier and I saw a really, really nice change. Well, actually two changes in there. One was kind of like minuscule, but still really nice. At least for me, really nice. And the other one was actually a, well, quality of life, I could say. Which makes OPR and actually building up a base and a spawn point a whole lot more interesting. So the first thing that I noticed was the tower, the spawn tower, is gone. So now there is no longer, there is still a threat. Like if you look on top, on the rock there, you can basically still see the spawn location. So the spawn location, if you stand on the rock there, you can still shoot at it and you can still destroy it. But if you're like ranged and you don't really know that you can stand on top of it, usually they just stand like completely over there, like the max range. There were even players that were shooting from the other outpost that were actually killing our spawn tower. But they actually made it into like a fragment. Like it looks really, really good. Even has some noise behind it. Yeah, and it made it like a crystal, like a broken crystal stone, something like that. And basically, yeah, it kind of is more protected now from actually being destroyed when they come for your base, right? And then the second one I kind of wanted to show you, and that one is actually pretty good for me. Because I love to, well, yeah, basically build stuff. Well, I usually don't build repeaters. I only do like the furnace and then the gates and the upgraded version. But I usually build them up to be able to repair them. Resources you apply now to any structure in OPR. you put them in by the 19, and you used to put them in by the, I think it was 12 or 14. So it's actually a pretty nice change there as well, especially for the people that kind of want to repair or build up structures. You can actually build up structures faster now. Let's go in. Oh crap, I'm not in. Get my void blade built and kill there. And let's make him back off. For the next, and this is probably one where a lot of players are actually really looking forward to. In the trading tab now, we actually have a filter. Like, holy crap, this should have been in the game from the start. How many times did I not have to look like I want to have focus and constitution, or I want to have focus, but it needs to be a single attribute only. You could only look at the perk, and then basically you got all the perks. Let's clear all, apply filter. So you basically got all the perks that you wanted, but it still could be strength. It still could be strength, constitution, dexterity, constitution. Now you can actually filter it to say I want gear score 590 to 600, or even if you're kind of greedy, you can just say I want minimum gear score 600. I want to have focus, single attribute only, and let's say, well, I'm starting to be a big fan of freedom, so let's say I want to look at all the pieces that have freedom. Apply filter, and there we go. Full focus, everything with full focus, and every piece that has freedom on it. And now I can just look over it and go like, no. But yeah, we got a filter now, guys, on the market. How good is that? Like, how good is that? You can even set minimum price, maximum price. You can select 3 perks. Like this is can afford. So apply filter. Yeah, the 80,000 one is not in here anymore because I can basically not buy it. We have filter on the market. I think a lot of players are gonna like this one. Like, this is a really, really good change. So before the patch, when you picked up quests, you basically always had like on the radar on the top, you always had like this marker that showed you like you need to run in this direction, and it's 110 meters away. Stupid pig, leave me alone. I'm trying to explain stuff here. Why am I trying to heal the pig? Let's try to quickly kill him so I can actually make my point. I don't have my point blade up. How am I missing him? There we go. And let's skin his ass. Leave me alone. So now if you run closer than 100 meters, I think it's 100 meters. Yeah, it's not showing up. There we go. So yeah, from 90 meters, I think something. It shows actually, we saw that already with the quest that we did for the medley fair, that it actually shows you on the map, like on your screen, like here is the location of the items. So it's gonna be running quests in this game is gonna be a whole lot easier now. It's actually showing you like on top of your screen once you get close enough. Stupid doors. Where your quest is actually at. Yeah, we pulled another one. No, we pulled the wolf. Did we pull the wolf? No, we don't pull the wolf. So yeah, doing quests in the game now is gonna be a whole lot easier, guys. Like, it really just shows you, like, it does show on the radar, like, you need to run in this general direction. But sometimes you just couldn't really see it because it was, like, for here, it was kind of hidden in the vegetation a little bit. Now, another change that we see, and it's probably gonna be only during the event, while the event is live. Like, the diamond gypsum is no longer coming from farming resources. They are actually behind these grand bestowments, like these centerpieces you're gonna find in every village. And as you can see, I can get 2 diamond gypsums from them and a beautiful casket. Now, these beautiful caskets, if you open them up, you basically get medley fair tokens and a good quantity of coins from them. And basically, these medley fair, the stage centerpieces, they can be found in every village. Like in the first light village, where I'm gonna head now. And basically, I think you can get, from what I remember, you can get 6 diamond gypsums from them. So it's gonna be like 3 more than you usually can get. So you definitely want to make sure that you visit like all of these well, stands, these medley fair stands, during the event in every settlement. Now, they are not in the settlements that cannot be controlled. So in Eden Grove, Great Cleave, or in the Shattered Mountains, you will not find these settlements, these well, centerpieces. But every other village, of course, you can find them, because the rest are outposts, if I'm correct. So here we find the next one. Like I said, you definitely want to make sure that you open them every day. And while we are talking about the gypsums you can earn per day, I'm not really sure if it's a bug or not, but in your armory for your faction, basically there are 2 gypsum orbs that you can buy. No longer any keys in here, so it's good that we can spend our faction tokens on these now. So this is only again for the event, but it is rather important. So if you see this marker on the map, Eternum Sturgeon Fishing Hotspot. So when we did the quests for the event, we couldn't find any hotspots, but I was basically just here to actually do one of the songs, and I was like, okay, I got some bugs, let's go fishing. And all of a sudden I saw this marker here, and yeah, you can see the sturgeons popping out of the water. I think that's right on the hotspot. So yeah, there you go. Fishing hotspots for the sturgeons. They do exist. So a new addition to the game I just came across by actual chance. So I was doing my daily crafts for smelting the Asmodean and the runic leather and then the weaving. And for the weaving, I actually, out of the box that I received, so weaving basically got to, where is it, character, and then the trade skills. So weaving, where the hell is it? So weaving, I basically got to the last checkpoint here. Made my way completely around. So I'm not really sure if it's only out of the tier 3 boxes that you can get them. But I got a pattern here, weaving clothing. Now, if we bring this, and this was brought to my attention by a company member on Discord. If I bring this to, well, to an armor bench, I can basically make the weaver shirt, the weaver shoes, the clothing, the hat. So the entire weaver set you can now actually craft. And this is also going to be the same way for the, for instance, smelting, for the wood, for the leatherworking. Like any crafting gear that you can have in the game right now, you should be able to... it's probably not going to show up here for this one. And for the wood, I'm not really sure. Like, I presume they're all going to be in here. So right now it doesn't say that, or it doesn't show up for me at least, I think. Let's quickly scroll down. Yeah, it's not showing up. So it probably, pattern recipes, it probably only shows up when you actually have the pattern. Now, I do believe I'm missing the weaver shirt, so I'm gonna basically craft one for my own. I'm gonna check it first. But this is also really nice, because if you have all of these patterns, some of these clothing actually fetch a really good price on the market. And although the pattern is bind on pickup, but yeah, again, the company member said to me, like, you don't sell the patterns, you actually just craft the actual shirt or the shoes or whatever you want to craft that is the most expensive on the market, and you sell that one. So getting the hands on these patterns might be actually pretty lucrative. I think this is the last thing that I like really see that is like new and definitely interesting to know about. To get your reputation up with the actual event, well, first off, go fish, guys. I've spent maybe 2 days fishing for 2 hours, and I've brought it up from 102 to 200. Like, it's never gone that fast. You definitely, like I said before, for the daily gypsum, you definitely want to go through every settlement and actually go towards that, the stands that are in the settlement. So if we look at the medley fair stage centerpieces, definitely want to go there to pick up your reward chest. But at the different medley fairs, like the 4 locations we have on the map, there's actually a spot here. You can see, like, with feet in the medley fair dance floor. Now, if you perform a dance there, and as you can see, there's like a little timer on the length that you need to dance. you can get a 250 event reputation. Now there are 4 of these locations, meaning that every 9 hours and 8 minutes you can basically get your hands on 1,000 reputation. The reputation that I got so far, and I've been doing not too much. Like I said, a little bit of fishing and then daily visiting the actual... Like, I'm a missing maestro. So how much do I really need? 10,000, and I've got 7,000 now, I think. 6,000 here, 7,000. So I'm missing like 2,300 more reputation to actually be able to buy everything. So that is really, really cool. And like I said, the only thing I've been doing is fishing. And this is the first time I've actually been doing these dances, but I've been visiting like the centerpieces. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up, like I said, for all of the new stuff, like the small implementations into the game that I can see, or that, well, members of the company actually told me, like, dude, have you already seen this? Like, definitely need to pay attention to that, or just like the spawn point in OPR. It's small changes, guys, but eventually they always make the game better. Anyway, I'm gonna sit my ass down here like I always do next to Luis Morales, who's actually doing a fancy dance over there. If you want to see more of my quest progression or my Let's Play here in New World or any other game I might play on my channel, guys, just hit that subscribe button. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.